going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome to the top 10 Pokemon fan games that you guys should play in 2025. Let's get started. First up is going to be Pokemon Gamma Emerald. Now, this game is bloody fantastic. Now, the demo for this game is going to be released on the 15th of May, so if it's out by now, by the time you're watching this, go and check it out. Now, what is Gamma Emerald? Well, essentially, it is a recreation of Pokemon Emerald, but trying to aim to make a game that, well, looks better, right? Like, they're trying to recreate Emerald, but make it in this almost 2.5D art style, very reminiscent of recent games you may have seen, like aiming for this very unique style. The game looks graphically just impeccable, and if you wonder to yourself, well, why would I play this or not like play the original game or even Oras, for example? Well, it's because they have changed the story. So if you're looking for a game that isn't just a visual upgrade, but also a upgrade in other aspects, then this is the game for you. Gamma Emerald, of course, is a unique game, but it's not the only game on this list, so definitely stick by because we got a few more to look at right now. Next up, we have Pokemon Awakening. Now, Pokemon Awakening has multiple different versions. The game is originally, I think, in Spanish, so you may struggle to play it if you do not download the English version, but nonetheless, though, what is it all about? Well, Pokemon Awakening is all about the difficulty. Yes, the game has difficulty levels to make sure that it is a harder game to play, but it doesn't end there. There's also a class system in the game to make sure that every experience when you do play the game feels relatively different from the last one, right? So because you have class structure, that means that different characters or different players in this case will have different experiences depending on what class you choose to play. So you'll have a different journey, but it doesn't end there. There's also custom routes to make sure that the journey feels different. So you're not going to have the exact same route as everyone else. You might take a different path to get to your destination. Generally speaking, Pokemon Awakening is trying to do things a little bit differently, trying to make a unique new Pokemon fan game that you haven't really played before. So definitely worthwhile to check out and give a shot if you haven't already. Pokemon Awakening is of course out and you guys can play it. I'm not sure if it's fully completed just yet, but it is a playable game nonetheless. Next up, we have Pokemon Close Combat. Yes, this is a very unique game, probably the most unique game on this entire list. Why do I say that? It's a fighting game. Yeah, it's a straight up fighting game. I'm not even kidding. It's an actual fighting game. So yes, this is a game where you play, it's kind of like Dragon Ball FighterZ if you've ever played that. Essentially, it's got an anime aesthetic and you have Pokemon that battle each other. This is essentially like, well, if you've ever played Smash Bros, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Z Fighters, BlazBlue, really any game like that, that's essentially what they're going for here. It's a really unique game. It's not like any of the other fighting games on this list. It is by far the most different one. So if you're looking for a regular Pokemon experience, this may not be for you, but if you're looking for something different, then this is the perfect game. It's a fighting game. There's loads of Pokemon to choose from. My personal favorite, of course, being Breloom. I love the way Breloom works in this game. So definitely worthwhile checking out if you haven't played it already. It's a game for, again, those of you who do like fighting games and want to play something that's a fan game that has all the passion and work put into it that you don't necessarily see from other games. So definitely check out Pokemon Close Combat. It is definitely one of the top games on this list. Next up is Pokemon Red's Chronicles. Now, this is an unfinished game. It's still being worked on, but it is a cool one nonetheless. It is the journey of the original Pokemon main character. It is going to be, of course, Trainer Red, but this is a journey of his story from a different perspective. It's not going to follow exactly the story you're used to of Red. It's going to be similar, but it's trying to tell its own twist on that original journey of Red. It's basically reimagining the Pokemon Kanto journey in a different point of view, and I think it looks great. It's got that Gen 4 art style that you guys may be used to by now, but I think it still looks the best. I think it's the best Pokemon art style we've had is that Gen 4 kind of chunky character sprite design, and it keeps going with that style right here. Very reminiscent of Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I would say. I think they're even using some of the art from Heart Gold, Soul Silver for this game, but nonetheless, though, if you're looking for an experience that's going to bring you back in time to, well, the way Pokemon was at this point, like half a decade ago, a decade and a half ago almost, then this is the game for you. Again, if you do enjoy Red's journey and you want to see it from a different perspective with really unique extra features, gameplay elements, and even Pokemon, by the way, there's like a addition of new Pokemon and things along that way. So if you want that, check out Pokemon Red's Chronicles. Next, we have Pokemon Ranger. Yes, not the Ranger you're thinking of. Of course, Pokemon Ranger games were these old games that came out that we had many, many years ago. But this is not that. This is something else. This is Pokemon Ranger, a fan game. So what do you do in this one? Well, you play as a Pokemon Ranger in a beautiful new location, beautiful new region. But that's not the biggest aspect of this game that I think is cool. And the reason I think you should play it, it's actually the combat. Why do I say this? Because the combat in this game isn't the turn-based Pokemon combat that you're used to, where you attack, then the enemy attacks, and so on and so forth. You choose the abilities. No. this is a real-time combat system. Yes, this is going to be more similar to Legends ZA than it is to a regular Pokemon game. And I think that's what makes me recommend this more than anything. If you're looking for a game that's definitely got a different gameplay style, this is it. This is the game for exactly that. So if you're looking for something that'll give you a unique experience, a different experience, then it's going to be Pokemon Ranger. And of course, it is a Ranger-esque game. So if you guys have missed Ranger, then hey, at least you get a little bit of that feeling of a Ranger game with this one, because it has a plot that revolves around being a Ranger. It has a general style that revolves around that. So I think it's definitely worth at least giving a shot. Next up, we have Pokemon Inheritance. And this is your standard Pokemon main fan game that specifically focuses, though, on the story. I think that's what gives Inheritance an edge, which is that they try to make sure they put a lot of the effort into the story. They also have some really great artworks that they put together for this game. They look really solid, but it doesn't end there. On top of that, the game also does have side quests, which are optional, by the way. They're going to be optional. You don't have to do the side quests, but they are there. You're, of course, going to be exploring a new region, new locations to see, new characters to interact with. It's essentially your very well-constructed Pokemon fan game. It's like as, you know, well-made as it can be. So definitely check out Pokemon Inheritance. It's a neat game. All right, baby, here we go. Pokemon Golurk Rising. Yes, this is such a sick game. First of all, what did they do with this one? Well, they made it all look like a Generation 2 tile set, right? So everything looks like it's from Gen 2 Johto, but even better, I would argue. Like, it actually looks even slightly better, in my opinion, because we have better technology today, and you can make these games look better even when they look old. So what is it all about? Well, Golurk Rising is just a game that has you going through the reckoning of time, essentially. And, well, it doesn't end there. The game features loads of new systems that weren't in the original. So you've got a day and night cycle, for example. You have a new custom screen size, but also they have added a bunch of custom music, so 8-bit music from the classic games, as well as tile puzzles, and also just loads of other stuff. They even have a sewer section, apparently, which I don't really know if I like sewer sections, but there's that. There's also 3 bosses that are similar to, I guess, gym locations or gym leaders that you can do, as well as post-game optional bosses that you can do as well. So generally speaking, it is a really cool looking game. I mean, it's not like revolution or anything, but I love Gen 2 style games. We don't get as many of these as we get the regular standard ones, so it's nice to see something in this style, man. Like, we don't get this style too often. So I'm really happy to tell you, definitely go check out Pokemon Golurk Rising. Alrighty, next we have Pokemon Hollowed Woods. Now, Hollowed Woods is a game that, again, does have that Gen 4 art style, which is molto bene, but what is it that it has as an advantage? Well, they specifically list their features as being a carefully curated original or regional Pokedex in this case. Basically, they feature different new Pokemon and moves from the 1st generation until the 8th generation, but it doesn't end there. I've also seen some of the coolest looking regional variants in this. I mean, maybe it's just because I saw Shroomish, but that's besides the point. The game just looks sick, okay? Like, graphically, it's got that Gen 4 style, but there's a lot of custom, like, added art in this to make sure that it's unique in its own thing. I also love the way the UI looks. It's just very clean. But again, that's not all. The game also tries to balance the experience of the game to make sure that it doesn't feel super easy, so it has a little bit like of difficulty, maybe not like Kaizo level difficulty, but they try to make the game difficult enough that you're not going to be bored the entire time playing it. You're actually going to get an experience that feels like you, well, you know, like an experience. It's going to feel like something. It's going to feel a bit difficult, not just easy to get through. Also, they have about 65 regional forms for existing Pokemon, as well as 57 formal side quests, plus a bunch of variety extra smaller content that can be unlocked through actual gameplay and, you know, character interactions. There's also secret spots, which are these areas accessible with special items that can either contain rare Pokemon or even rare items. Generally speaking, it's a sick looking game. It has got a demo out right now, or a version you can play at the moment, so definitely do check it out. Okay, next we have Pokemon Ruckus. Now, this game is a little bit out there. Why do I say this? It's because this game's design and concept is a little bit more similar to, if you guys have ever played Pokemon Cops or Pokemon Snakewood, like, it's a little bit goofy. It tries to tell a bit of a goofy story, and it's called Pokemon Ruckus. So Ruckus as a game is really strange. The story starts off with you essentially witnessing, or rather, not really witnessing, but more or less, an Elite Four member gets one of their Pokemon stolen by a gang, and your job is to go out and, I guess, solve that situation. situation. But in terms of features, there's about 90 plus new like Fakemon and regional variants in this game. There's also a new region to explore with new badges that you can collect. There are currently 2 of those that you can get in the current release. And also there's plenty of side quests and side activities and rewards for exploration that you can do. There's also indoor furniture, which has unique dialogue for each room. Some of them might even be funny. Again, the game is very reminiscent to those fun hacks. Like it's a fun hack. It's trying to be goofy a little bit, which I think is fine. And also it has hard level caps, which means that yes, when you are leveling, there will be moments where like your leveling will just stop. You won't be able to level up more until you beat a gym. So that's really good if you want to make sure the game is balanced. So there's that. Also easy EV like allocation on the summary screen in case you want to allocate your EV stats. So there you go. And loads of goofs and gaffs as described by the developer. So definitely check it out. And before we get to the last one on this list, a massive shout out to Digimon Quest. Digimon is a game that's been made by an amazing developer by the name of Yano, who's put together essentially a amazing freaking engine, but not just an engine, an entire game. Yes, so they've created the engine here to make an entire game called Digimon Quest. And guess what? They sponsored this video because they want you guys to check it out. The game is right now, well, I mean, I guess by the time this video goes out, the game is going to be on discount on Steam, down from $19.99 by 40%, down to about like $12.99. So it's going to be way cheaper. Definitely go check out Digimon Quest. It has the Gen 2 kind of art style in case you like Pokemon Gen 2. It's very reminiscent of Pokemon, and it still tries to do its own thing. So if you do like monster capture tamers, this may be a game for you. Check it out on Steam. It's going to be linked down below. Now let's move on to the last one on the list. And finally on this list, we have Pokemon Rebirth. I do not care what anybody says. This game looks amazing. First of all, yes, it is in Spanish. I think it's Spanish, which is really the unfortunate part. But what does the game actually do? Well, first of all, story changes. That's the number one thing. They change the story. Number 2, the graphics. Holy moly, the graphics look great in this game. Like, it looks visually stunning. It also has like different like difficulty levels that you can choose from. You can choose normal, you can choose radical, you can choose like just hard levels of difficulty, which you can pick yourself, which is great. But not just that, they have Gigantamax Pokemon and Gigantamax leaders. They have also a shiny hunting system in the game. There is also compatibility with Joyplay, so if you play on mobile, you can do that too, which is great. Honestly, it is fantastic. And they currently got beta 2 that's out right now, which is at about like 50% completed. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen, you can play the game already and it's halfway done, and I think it's awesome. So check out Pokemon Rebirth at update 1.4 right now. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.